For a long time, the Nissan Frontier used to be a natural choice for all those looking for a no-nonsense pickup. With a straightforward design and affordable pricing, it imposed itself as a great value for money proposal. But then it got redesigned, it got fancier, better equipped, and of course, more expensive. So we wonder if it's still a great value as it used to be. We bring you 7 reasons why you shouldn't buy a Nissan Frontier. Number 7. Driving experience. When Nissan redesigned the Frontier a few years ago, it made it better looking, better equipped, and more appealing in general. But despite the redesign, the new generation continued to ride on the good old F-Alpha platform, with a chassis that didn't change much compared to the previous generation, which was introduced way back in 2005. Today we're talking about an almost 2-decade-old design, and that reflects a lot through the ride quality, which didn't change radically with the arrival of a new generation. In other words, the Frontier isn't particularly enjoyable to drive. It's not particularly comfortable, while leaf springs in the back can also cause a bit of bounce at higher speeds. The steering feels even more problematic. Nissan engineers did some tweaks, but it still feels vague and there isn't much feedback coming from the road. Add to this a bit of awkward driving position, as well as the fact that the steering column doesn't offer much in terms of adjustability, and it becomes clear why we say that the overall driving experience might be one of the Frontier's key drawbacks, even though the Frontier is really good in some aspects, such as driving dynamics, for example, thanks to its capable V6 engine. Number 6. Passenger space. As a pickup that still features the same chassis as it featured 2 decades ago, it's pretty clear that it didn't have much chance to grow in size over the years, which has been the case with most competitors. In other words, the 3rd generation isn't much bigger than its predecessors, and that is reflected through quite a similar amount of interior space. Compared to most rivals, the Frontier has one big advantage, that it comes in 2 cab configurations unlike most classmates. The base King Cab model is a typical extended cab version that prioritizes cargo bed size over comfort. But on the other hand, the crew cab version is where Nissan lags behind rivals. Simply, this cab layout should provide more room for adults in both rows, but that's not the case. The second row lacks legroom, while headroom in the cabin isn't particularly great in general. All in all, rivals, especially American ones, are way more generous with rear passenger space and are genuine family haulers. The Frontier isn't. Still, the front row does offer plenty of room and therefore comfort, considering that Nissan traditionally has some of the best seats on the market. Number 5. Fuel economy. The Nissan Frontier may not be as much more affordable than the competition as it used to be, but still seems like a better value, and powertrain is one of the key reasons, because it is one of the 3 midsize pickups that come standard with a V6. The other 2 are the Jeep Gladiator and Honda Ridgeline, but these are significantly more expensive. The Frontier's key rivals, the similarly priced Tacoma, Colorado, and Ranger, rather come with Turbo 4 engines that are less powerful and, as expected, less refined. With 310 horses, the Frontier offers more power than most Turbo 4 rivals, but on the other hand, forced induction often provides more torque for rival pickups despite the smaller displacement, so driving dynamics are quite similar, sometimes even in favor of Turbo 4 powered competition. The Frontier's V6 is way smoother without any doubt, but it's also notably thirstier. The best you can get in terms of fuel economy is up to 18 mpg in the city and 23 mpg on the highway, and that's only with rear-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive models need a bit more juice to cover the same distance, but all in all, rivals are more efficient. Both the Ford Ranger and Chevy Colorado exceed 20 mpg in the city and 25 mpg on the highway with their Turbo 4 engines, while a rear-wheel drive Tacoma can do even better than that with its new Turbo 4 engine. Oh, and we almost forgot about Toyota's new hybrid powertrain, way more capable than Nissan's V6 and at the same time, way more efficient, with 23 miles per gallon in a combined ride. All in all, the Frontier's V6 is less efficient, but if you prefer smoothness and refinement, it could be an excellent choice, especially if we consider that it works very well in combination with a smooth shifting 9-speed automatic transmission. Number 4. Standard safety and tech features. The Frontier might be cheaper than the competition, but we're not sure if it's worth the compromise in terms of safety, because the only advanced safety feature that comes standard is automatic emergency braking. For all the other things such as adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, automatic high beams, or traffic sign recognition, you have to pay extra. Moreover, due to the aforementioned old chassis design, the Frontier achieves only 4 stars in the crash test thanks to a disappointing 3-star rating in the rollover evaluation. As for tech features, base models do come with all the essentials, but for more, you have to go with higher trim levels and optional packages. This includes a bigger touchscreen and more than just 4 speakers, which is the number that comes with the standard version. Fortunately, upgrades are available but require extra cash. Things like a power-adjustable driver's seat and more speakers come with mid-range trims, while more convenience is available only with range-topping trims like the Pro X, which unlocks dual-zone climate control, a bigger infotainment screen, heated seats and steering wheel, premium audio system, and more. All in all, rivals seem to offer more in this aspect, not to mention that most of them come with a better infotainment system and the following connectivity features. Number 3. Ergonomics. Without any doubt, the Nissan Frontier features a nice cabin with decent materials and aesthetics. Furthermore, we like Nissan's zero-gravity seats a lot, but still, there are a few things about the cabin layout that are far from ideal. Simply, the fact that the current generation is rather a heavily updated version of the previous model means that many solutions carried on from a model that was introduced way back in 2005. That primarily refers to ergonomics. Some buttons and controls are oddly located, like those by the driver's left knee. On the other hand, controls on the center stack are nice and logical, though the infotainment system comes with a shiny black surround, which isn't the easiest thing to keep clean and tends to show signs of use relatively quickly. While there are no major complaints about the infotainment screen, the center screen mounted between the analog gauges on the instrument cluster feels dated and, more importantly, a bit messy and hard to read. Furthermore, we're really no fans of the Frontier steering wheel. Not only does the column lack adjustability, but the wheel by itself comes with a couple of cons too. Buttons are far from reach, while the wheel doesn't feel exceptionally nice on touch either. On the other hand, what we like about this pickup is visibility, which is great in all directions. Number 2. Off-road Performance. If your pickup truck ownership includes a lot of going off the road, then the Frontier may not be the most ideal choice. Yes, it does come with a couple of off-road variants, but rivals offer more. For example, there is the Pro 4X trim with standard 4-wheel drive and upgrades like Bilstein shock absorbers, all-terrain tires, locking rear differential, additional skid plates, and more. It's a decent off-roader, though not at the same level as rivals like the TRD Pro, CR2, or Raptor. Still, there is a way to get closer to aforementioned off-road monsters in terms of performance, but only if you pay $9,999 extra to get the new Forsberg edition. Named after the famous Baja racer Chris Forsberg, this package includes trail-ready suspension with high-performance shocks, aluminum upper control arms, and 32-inch all-terrain tires. A good thing to know is that this package can be added to every Frontier model produced after 2022. Number 1. Towing capacity. Here comes another aspect where the Frontier lags behind most of the competition, particularly the American one. Namely, while models like the Chevy Colorado and Jeep Gladiator can tow up to 7,700 pounds, and the Ford Ranger can be good for about 7,500 pounds, the Frontier's max towing capacity is 6,640 pounds at best, and that refers to the King Cab version. The Crew Cab model, when optimally configured, can tow up to 6,510 pounds, which is a huge gap compared to the aforementioned rivals. Still, the mitigating circumstance is that the Frontier is more consistent than the competition. Do you know how off-road focused models or those with base engines usually tow significantly less? Well, that's not the case with the Frontier. All variants can tow more than 6,000 pounds no matter the configuration. As for the max payload, the best you can get is a bit over 1,610 pounds, which seems to be quite okay for the class. Though keep in mind that most variants can haul between 1,300 and 1,500 pounds. Once again, just like most classmates and their comparable configurations. Thanks for watching and see you next time.